time now for our panel of the day to digest and spit out some hot takes on news and so on. Trish Sherson from Sherson Willis, the PR company, and Rawdon Christie, a communications and property expert, join us here this fine Friday morning.
Good morning, Garth.
Good morning. Lovely to see you both. You're both looking so chipper.
Well, so are you at the back end of a week of early mornings. Doing very well.
Yeah, they've got the big boy back next week. He'll be freshly rested. Look, Trish Sherson, you are a communications person and you specialise in talking to leaders around the place. Looks like Christopher Luxon's in a bit of bother. He's walking into caucus on Tuesday morning. You've got 60 seconds to whisper in his ear. What are you going to tell him?
Well, that's very presumptuous. I don't think it'll be what he's telling the caucus. I think it would be about what he's telling himself. And I am going to put my self on the line here and make a prediction. I think that the next leadership change will not be like one we've seen before in National. I think it will be probably far more of a surprise than we expect, and maybe something similar to the way Jacinda Ardern went out, i.e. on your own terms. You turn up, you say, great news, the country's back on track. I've got the car out of the ditch and it's off down the road, and I'm off to do something else.
So it's going to wait for some good news or something good to happen?
I think so.
A quick exit on rather than a managed retreat?
Well, think about still in the National Party that institutional knowledge of the Todd Muller leadership change debacle that really nearly brought the party to its knees. I don't think anybody would want a repeat of that.
So there'll be some, what do you think, Rawdon?
Well, I'm interested to see that we're already talking about how it's going to be managed rather than whether it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So this
Nothing lasts forever.
This is going pretty fast on Luxon, possibly. Now, you're right, I think it will be very well corporately managed in a very corporate management way. I feel as though he's a bit damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, and has been probably since the day he started. I don't know if he's ever found his style, but if he puts out the Taylor Swift thing, and I shared this with my family, and I said, this is very cheesy, and I find it a little strange, but one of the family sort of said, well, he's just trying things, and why not reach out to Taylor?
He got a response as well from I think from Travis Kelce.
Then I have a passport.
The Amazon thing. I mean, that's been a debacle this week. But again, he's a bit damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Does he celebrate something which we should be trying to celebrate any tiny win we can get, even if it's a win which was lined up years ago? But the way it's delivered is just open to criticism.
Well, no great insight here because this has been widely traversed. But, in a complex environment that we're in right now, you have to be an outstanding communicator to be a great leader with cut through. And I think that is the part that Christopher Luxon has struggled with, is really getting a clear message out. And unfortunately, most weeks after that Monday lead-out interview on Mike Hosking, there's some gaffe to sort of mop up. Yeah. The Reserve Bank one recently wasn't great. And
not given the timing with everything that's going on there and what we're learning about what a mess that's been for 6 months. That's been kept a little bit quiet by his deputy as well, who's looking a bit on the nose.
But don't forget also, this is a really kind of, it's a rare time in New Zealand politics where you've got both of the leaders for the two main parties absolutely struggling for popularity.
Fighting for each other's voters.
They are fighting for each other's voters, and because they're doing that, they're not picking up any new voters. They are trying to appeal to this big wobbly base in the middle, and they're not getting any traction. And I think a lot of it also too is the electorate is just, everybody is really grumpy. They're grumpy and they're tired. So I don't think the vote against National at the moment is a vote for Labour. I think it's more of a grumpy vote.
I think Chris Hipkins, you're right. You say anything, it's going to be criticised and it's going to be looked on negatively in a way because there is so little positivity out there at the moment. Hence, Luxon trying to push this Amazon deal as a great win. You've got Hipkins, whose popularity is based on the fact he's saying nothing at all. I mean, that's a worry in a way.
And in the midst of all this, I mean, we all love a baby. Miracle baby born, foreign buyer ban eased. It's like, how, given the coalition, did that get through?
Well, what
Outstanding idea.
a 2-year
from a man of real
gestation
estate.
and then and a sort of baby that is potentially underweight and is, questions about its survival. But there we go.
Oh, we'll get in there and fight for it anyway, I'm sure. So, Rawdon, you must be pretty thrilled. Are you getting
Oh,
the
we're
phone
pleased.
running hot?
It's
With people wanting to sell their houses to foreign buyers?
certainly that's happened immediately, particularly those whose houses probably aren't really worth $5 million, and they think that they might now be. So if you've got these buyers ringing in from the US and China, can you just let them know that our little place is on the market?
It's well apportioned, and it's just really it's only about 1.5 metres from its next door neighbour in Remuera, but never mind.
That's right. But I mean, the reality is that it's a really clever policy, I think, and it's a really clever lifting of the ban, given the fact because we were calling for, ideally for us, we want it to be $2 million up, and then the whole market's just going to go through the roof. But the $5 million barrier is a really clever one because it really won't directly affect what I think the huge majority of the housing market.
You're right. I mean, this is the thing. We had Chris Hipkins saying that. I'm thinking while I'm listening to him, hang on, how does the price of a Ferrari affect what you pay for a Toyota Corolla?
Well, but that just showed, to me, it showed Labor's lack of work, actually, and they haven't moved on at all from where they were. Because
they're trying to make it about the property thing when it's actually about investment. Right?
That's exactly right. And also just even that line, the fact that people come in and they're going to buy a house for over $5 million. The number of New Zealanders who could afford to buy a house over $5 million is absolutely tiny. There's going to have no impact on the market. Rawdon would know this better than me, but the real estate market at the moment is in the biggest slump that we've had probably for, 25 or 30 years.
Oh, it's going to take a decade or something to get back to the...
Yeah, so it's going to take a lot more than this to jolly up the buyers.
We've got to focus on the fact that this is a tool in order to get the other part of the investment into the country.
And hopefully make them stick around rather than just drop it in for 3 months. Here's your passport, like Travis, and then and off on the next plane to, I don't know, Australia or wherever you want to go with your Kiwi passport as your backup. Look, you mentioned Amazon. We had, I think, quite an interesting situation here this week. You had Amazon launches something, arguably that they'd launched before. You've got IKEA that's launched something. Who did it better?
Well, you can start on that one, Rawdon.
Amazon's got all the talk, but there's a negativity associated with it because now people are drilling down into what are you really bringing to the country and how much of our power are you going to soak up and that sort of thing. And I think that the good news message there of the number of jobs and the GDP it's going to add is sort of starting to get a bit muddy. The IKEA announcement is... well, jeepers, I don't know. I'm just going to avoid that part of Auckland even more because it's going to be, I imagine, mayhem trying to get in and out. Certainly for the first 6 months. But no, it's cool. I think people love a good retail story, don't they? And IKEA's a bit iconic.
Are you a flat packer, Trish Sherson? I can't see it somehow. Can I?
My whole life feels like the Krypton factor, and I don't need to add in trying to
allow me to be your Dougal Stevenson.
Trying to put together a flat pack that is just outside my sphere of influence. I think the interesting thing about those two announcements this week, we love an international brand coming to New Zealand. Coverage of them always follows a similar pattern, and the opening date's a big thing, which is great. I think on the AWS announcement, it's also a warning to companies about do it, what I would call do it, be it, say it. So when you come out with a big announcement, make sure that there is, you know what the guts of that announcement is, and you're not just trying to reheat something because you will quickly get found out. I think the other warning is tying yourself too close politically to the government around big announcements, because also that also attracts, which it should, big scrutiny. But I imagine there would also be questions in the beehive about how that announcement wasn't scrutinised, because then it left the Prime Minister hanging out there with this big announcement that really didn't have a lot when you got under the hood.
But also, I think there's back to a bit of personal responsibility. Surely, if you are, Christopher Luxon was a candidate and an MP back then when that deal was done. Did he not have the memory to go, hang on, this sounds really familiar? I think we've done this before already, haven't we?
Yeah. I can't remember a big announcement like that.
Not being a tech nerd like I obviously am.
Having really gone so badly wrong because because the background to it wasn't properly, either it wasn't properly communicated or it should have been a lesser announcement.
Right. Trish Sherson.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a debacle. It's become all about ripping up a wetland rather than the reality, which is it's a hell of a good investment in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Outstanding. Rawdon Christie, Trish Sherson, you both have a social licence to operate here for as long as you need to. Really
Great relief.
Really appreciate. That's Sherson Willis Director, Trish Sherson, and Rawdon Christie, Communications and Property Expert, a part of our dynamic panel here on a Friday.